Hello and welcome to the Tottenham America channel. Today we'll be looking back at the North London derby as Tottenham hosted Arsenal at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in the 35th round of the Premier League. It was a crucial game for both sides. Tottenham needed to get a result out of it to stay in contention for 4th and 5th place, while Arsenal needed a win or some kind of point value from it to keep that lead over Manchester City. Arsenal were 4 points above Manchester City with 2 games in hand at the time. So this was a must-win, or at least a game that both sides need to get a result from. And in the end, it was Arsenal that took home the points, but not without some serious fight back from Spurs. Overall, like, even from a fan's perspective, from a neutral perspective, this was an unbelievable game, I think.
Yeah, it was good.
In the second half, it blew up.
I think the first half, our problem, corners were a huge problem. And also, I think Højbjerg and Bentancur did not play very well. They did not do a great job at, like, moving the ball and getting stuff done. They had the ball, but they couldn't do anything with it.
Yeah. I
think same thing goes for Maddison as well.
That's true. We started off with 3 goals against Tottenham in the first half. A Højbjerg own goal from a corner. Then Saka put it past Vicario on the 27th minute, but there was some controversy here because 4 minutes before this goal, Mickey van de Ven scored, only to be marginally ruled out. I think it was ruled that his heel was maybe a maximum of 2 or 3 inches past the rear of Gabriel, and that's why it was offside. But that would have been 1-1. That was, I think, a correct decision. There was nothing to be mad about there. He was offside. You know, we'll give them that. The question came about 3 minutes later, right before the goal, as Kulusevski drives into the box and Leandro Trossard kind of cuts across him in the back, touches his heel, and Kulusevski stumbles. The discussion from the presenters on TV in the States, so on NBC Sports, were mainly talking about how that would have been a foul any other place because there was contact, whether it's accidental or not. And if Kulusevski had gone down immediately instead of trying to stay up and get the ball to Maddison, it would have been a penalty.
Yeah, definitely. Because he tried to follow the ball. I think Kulusevski does that a lot, but if he just channeled his inner Eric Lamela and dived,
yep,
we would have probably gone.
And it wasn't even a dive; he was already stumbling.
Yeah, it was.
But the bigger issue is that it should not depend on whether the player dives or not, right?
Yeah.
That's contact either way. Whether the player stays up or not should not matter. And that was really the biggest point for us because that could have been 2-1 us. Well, 1-1. If the Van de Ven's goal stood ruled out, that would have been 1-1 and the game would have a completely different look.
You also can't forget that Guti hit the post as well from corner.
Guti hit the post. Son skied it from a very good chance as he was running on from a Pedro Porro long ball. But there were just so that was the big thing that went against us that first half. Then Kai Havertz made it 3 in the 38th minute with a header from a corner, and despite, honestly, I thought what was a okay performance from Tottenham, we found ourselves 3 goals behind, but changes made all the difference in the second half.
Yeah, I think all 5 of our changes really made an impact. I mean, Gio did not really have a ton of time.
Yep.
Brennan Johnson made a big impact.
Huge.
I think Sarr and Bissouma definitely, they did more stuff with the midfield. And Richarlison as well. His physicality really came in handy.
Because he's an actual striker.
Yeah,
today we saw that Son can't play a striker.
Yeah, and also we saw that as soon as Richarlison came on, we had someone to look for in the box.
That's true, that too. But the balls were not as good going in.
The balls were decent. They just lacked pace, and they were too easy for David Raya to just come and grab.
Yeah, Tottenham got 2 goals back in the second half. As we're known, second half FC. Christian Romero got 1, capitalizing off of a big mistake from David Raya, who passed it right to Christian Romero, who just had to slot it into the corner. And then Son took a penalty and scored. A very Harry Kane style penalty. But it was a great take into the corner, and this gave Tottenham a lot of hope. I bet blood pressures were rising across Spurs fans across the world. But in the end, Arsenal held out, and we lost by 2 goals to 3. Certainly an eventful match, but we really suffered from missing those chances in the first half, which, I mean, they're not all, you know, hitting the post is not going to be a huge, like, that wasn't our fault. I just think that there were a lot of opportunities where we tried to pass too much, which is the problem.
Yeah, like, we don't have to make a goal look pretty every time. We just have to find a way to get it in.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can really, our stats kind of reflect that as well. Because you can see that we had 14 shots, 2 of them on target. So we just could not get that shot on target.
But also, beyond that, we couldn't, like, half the time we need to take shots.
And majority of our shots were probably blocked.
Yeah.
Because we tried to pass too much.
I think a great example of the fact of why we should just take shots is the disallowed goal. Pedro Porro tried walloping it from about the midway line. And, I mean, there's a very low chance that he's actually going to score, but it gets blocked, and Van de Ven has a clear chance to score. It was marginally offside, but next time that happens, he might not be offside. Right? There's so many positives to just shooting when you run out of options, but unfortunately sometimes we try to pass too much. But I think we are slowly getting out of that.
We are slowly getting out of it.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't be a shot that you sky it like how Bissouma characteristically does.
Yeah.
You should try to get on target so we can like spill the rebound, etc.
But when you're out of space, just take a shot.
Yeah.
Like there's no point passing and dribbling.
It's just gonna be a wasted opportunity.
Exactly, and we did that way too many times in the first half today. I think we lessened it in the second half though. But that's certainly something we have to look at. Another thing is the corners. We have to get better defending corners. Continually, we just keep conceding, and I don't know what it is with I think our set piece coach is Miles Jedinak or something. But we're really struggling on defending corners, and it's really, really hurting us because 2 of the goals were from corners, and the other one was off the back of a penalty that was somehow not called. So, in essence, all 3 of those goals were easily avoidable. If anything, the second goal was not avoidable, but the other 2 were.
Yeah.
So it was, you know, we definitely need to work on that. But I wouldn't say that we fell apart today. I think we played okay.
I wouldn't say we fell apart. If you think about it, without the corners, we would have won.
Yeah.
If we knew how to defend corners, we would have won.
Yep.
So, really, that was a big problem, the corners. And obviously, what we were talking about earlier, just taking a shot.
Yeah. But we've got 5 games left in the season. Chelsea and Liverpool away, then Burnley and Man City home, and then we finish off the 2023-2024 season with Sheffield United away on Sunday, May 19th. Only 5 games to go. 3 of them are opponents of the Big Six, and the other 2 are basically relegation candidates. So nothing in the middle. It's either extreme. Chelsea has to be a win. We have to win Chelsea.
We have to win against Chelsea.
Burnley and Sheffield United, we cannot mess up. And then Man City and Liverpool, we have to do our best to avoid dropping points.
Yes.
But it's going to be an interesting run-in as we continue to try and secure somewhere along the lines of 5th or 4th place. I believe 5th place will at least get us Europa League.
I'll be happy with 5th place.
That's more than enough. To be honest, we lost our best player over the summer and we've gotten top 5. That would be insane. Like, that would be a huge feat to Ange. Because this club was in disarray before he came.
Yeah.
Like, with Kane gone, this club was just a mess and he completely fixed us up. It's going to be a painful rebuild, but I think most of our fans have realized that finally and are willing to back that. But there's always the potential that Aston Villa go and mess it up somehow. They've got Liverpool, which is really their only big game. The other 2 are Crystal Palace and Brighton. So if they can get any type of damage inflicted on them, we still have a chance of getting top 4. But there's nothing wrong with Europa League. And honestly, I'd prefer it because it gives us a nice ease into Europe. And a potential trophy, too.
Yeah.
A chance at a trophy. I can't get too unrealistic, right, Tottenham? But that's it for our reactions to Tottenham Hotspur's 2-3 loss to Arsenal in the North London Derby. If you enjoyed and want to see more Spurs content, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Comment down below your reactions from the match. And until next time.
Come on, you Spurs!